Hey Sheroes, happy magical Monday message to you. Today is Monday the 14th and we are smack dab in the middle of this eclipse time. So if you're feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, underwhelmed, zany, if you're feeling a little bit like that kind of energy, if you're feeling a sense of foreboding, if you're feeling anything like an excitement that also feels like anxiety, if you're spacey, if you're having a kind of out-of-body experience, if you are feeling very emotional, you get the point, you get the gist, right? We really are right in between the eclipses today, and since we've got that eclipse coming up on Monday. And this is really this time energetically right now, is this sensation of like floating and being in between worlds. So there's this thing that I'm hoping I can find again that Diane, one of our wonderful Sheroes, put on her feed, and it was this beautiful, like, calling it like it is about what this feeling of energy right now is. And I'm sure that you are feeling it, and it's like we are in between worlds. Literally, that's what it's like. And it's this place that also is like these questions and answers and answers and questions, but we have a lot of questions, but we don't have a lot of answers. And we've got, you know, not enough answers to know what the next question is. All right, so I don't want to be freaking you out or anything. I don't think that I can do that because I know you're all very attuned women and you're sensing this energy anyway. What I'm just doing is affirming that if you're feeling a little kind of batshit crazy, but then also completely like downlined, enlightened the next minute, that's normal. That's like really right where it all is at right now. There's also something that I know that Ruth may be able to speak to in the feed or post something on the gates right now in human design. This theme right now is going through like everything, astrology and all these different systems of interpretation are talking about right now, because we've also got this Mercury retrograde. There's this like massive recalibration happening where we're all kind of looking at like, not kind of, I gotta get that word out of my vocabulary. There's nothing kinda about right now. We are looking at these, what's my next life? Am I happy in what I'm doing? Is this really the right job for me? You know, how can I transform and change everything and anything that's not working? It's like this massive cosmic decluttering of mindsets, of beliefs, of energetic patterns, of the limitations, of dreams that we thought we wanted that are now not so tasty anymore, that are not really whetting our appetite, and we're going like, okay, what's next? I want to give you a question that I have been pondering very deeply all weekend. And it actually, believe it or not, comes from Tony Robbins, who I have never really gotten into, kind of avoided, quite frankly, to a certain extent, because I just felt like he was this, you know, I had opinions. And I got this message this weekend very clearly where Spirit was like, watch the movie. You know, even if it triggers the shit out of you, watch it. And it was I'm Not Your Guru. It's on Netflix. And I know now why I watched it. Besides for the fact that it was really, you know, a lot of shadow work and very interesting and very much like the energies that's going on right now. There was this one question that he asked at the end, and it was this is the question. What is the primary question you have been asking over and over and in different ways, but over and over in your life? So if you think about back to like one of your earliest memories, you know, what was the quality in that moment, in that memory, that then may have, you know, pushed you or formed you into having a certain question about life or about yourself? And I've been chewing on this one all weekend about what is that primary question I keep asking over and over. And the best thing I've come up with so far is my question, because I've had a lot of near-death experiences, and because, you know, I have this medium and, you know, empath and all of these things, and because of who I am, basically, you know, I've been asking this question of, you know, what is mine to do? Like, why am I here? And of course, that sounds like it's like, yeah, Michelle, a lot of us have been asking that question. I know, but and I'm saying that I'm completely giving you a half-baked process now, but it is tying into this energy right now that's happening with the Lionsgate and the eclipse and just where we're at. I won't even talk about, I can't even get into the political and social stuff that's going on right now in the States. But we are at this juncture of transformation. And this question, I feel, is a really, really good question of what's the primary question that you've been asking, you know, in most of your life, if not your whole life so far, that's been like your driving primary question. And in that is the gold, is the place of like, then it can become like, you know, then what you've been trying to get at and get out this whole time. And this could be really helpful in bringing in this next phase of your life, of if you're letting go and decluttering of all these things and stepping into, what are you stepping into? What is this, you know, and there is no answer right now. I'm going to say that again. It's not a get the answer, but please at least have the elegant, brilliant, sacred question. And I feel that that's a very sacred question. Going into your soul and going into your Shero sense of yourself and talk with her. Have a conversation and be like, what am I been getting at? What is that thing that I wanted answered this whole time? Okay, because in that is a very strong soul mission, soul genius, soul purpose. All right. So I am pulling a card as we are recording this Magical Monday message, because I want to just do a live card. I'm pulling from the Tao Oracle, or Tao Oracle. It's an absolutely beautiful one. I've had this one for, man, since my teens, I think. All right, so I'm just going to choose what is the message for the Sheroes in this time of transformation. Yeah. Sometimes I know the card because I'll get this really intense, like almost like my third eye went cross-eyed. And it's like, okay. Okay. Before completion, number 64. Keywords: uncertainty, doubt and hesitation, loss of faith, unstable conditions, be extra cautious, and discord. I don't want this to go too long, but I am going to look. This is number 64. So this Tao Oracle brings in the I Ching and everything. And let's see. You know what's fascinating? Okay, I can't help but be absolutely amazed by these little messages of life. This is the last card in the deck. We are in a massive time of paradigm shifting and transformation. And before completion, before we can step into this new world, this new selves, this new path, this is the one coming up. I mean, hello. Okay, you may feel as if you're walking on thin ice, and even though the end is in sight, the risks are beginning to feel riskier. Your situation is tenuous, and an unnerving sense of uncertainty has crept in. To make matters worse, you may feel utterly spent and exhausted, as though you're running on empty. It's imperative you continue now in spite of weariness and doubt. You may stay focused on the needs of the moment and distance yourself from any thoughts or people that threaten your inner stability by undermining your tenacity. There could be unexpected challenges that delay progress. Although there is no rest for the weary, you must be fully present to deal with these challenges. So it's important that when you arise, you aren't tied up, or preoccupied elsewhere. Be cautious and persevering now. If you should discover that the direction you're taking seems to be leading you further from the goal, abandon it. Carrying on despite signals that urge a change in plans would be foolish. Be ready to alter your approach and be creative in your thinking. Do not act simply because you're being pressured by others or driven by your own impatience. A firm footing is needed before you take the next step. A cautious approach that nevertheless shows resoluteness and grounding in spite of difficulties of what is needed now. You may be impatient with your apparent lack of progress, but there are others who will respect the choices you've made. All right, loves. So, wow, Sheroes, I've got tingles. That felt like a really mighty Monday message for us. And bringing that sense, this card and this energy, I know, I'm not wanting to be a downer, not wanting to be like uber intense here, but this is the energy right now. This is what it is. And it's not time to run away from it. It's time to face it and feel it and be with it so that we can transform into the light, into the next step, crossing the bridge into the new world. And this is before completion. We do need to have this place. Like then where do we find grounding when everything feels so slippery? And I'm going to offer myself, and because I'm feeling this big time as well, big time, as we all are. I don't even know why I say that. Well, I'm feeling this too. Yeah, of course. Why do you think I'm giving this Monday magical message? I'm saying this to myself, not to you. It's like we're all in this together, and my heart goes out to you. My heart goes in towards myself. And it really right now is this time of soul, being with your soul, being with that Shero and that courageous part of you that knows this too shall pass, and that there is a divine purpose and divine timing to all of this, and that these risks need to be taken for us to fully feel alive and to fully be aligned to who we are. So please, whatever you can do to get support, to find connection, to get community, to soften inside yourself, to trust the universe right now. Whatever practice you do, meditation, dancing, pulling cards and oracles, making love, whatever it is, do it, and do it with gratitude, and do it with reverence for who you are in this world, in this changing world right now. And bring that question in. What is that primary question you've been asking over and over in your life, and see what seeds come from that question. Then answers, let them come to you, okay? Trust that the answer will come. Trust that the reward from the risk will come, and stay grounded. All right. Much, much love to you all, and I will see you through the week.